Right, news story, introduction, bit in the middle, photographs, piece number 3, some kind of review. Okay, garden. Guys, for the first time since June 2017, welcome to the garden news. Oh yeah. It's the garden news, it's the garden news.
Dad, it's the garden news.
Alright, sorry. Hiya guys, welcome back. It's been too long. Right. The news. If you've not seen an episode of the garden news before, first of all, hello. What took you? I do have a playlist. You could have gone and watched some of the older ones. But secondly, for those if you're not familiar with the format, I start off with a news story or something topical that's gardening related. In the middle, technical term, in the middle bit, I normally show photographs that you, the subscribers, have sent in, but because we haven't done one for so long, I have no idea where the last lot of photographs went to. Sorry. And in the last bit, the third bit of the garden news, I might do something a little bit random or a review of a gardening related product, or I might look at a particular plant that I'm thinking about growing, and then I'll ask you guys for any tips or advice, and then it's a good way of sharing information. So for the first part, the news, it's quite a serious story this, and I'm not joking. You'll find out very soon that I'm really not joking. A trial started yesterday, a murder trial at the Old Bailey in London for the death of Leah Andre Joko, sorry, I'll say your name again, Leah Andre Joko. She was murdered at her allotment plot last year in February. She was 80 years old, a grandmother, and the man accused of murdering her, like I say, the trial started yesterday, Monday. Really sad. Now the allotment site she was at was the Colindale Allotment plots in northwest London. So the news story is, we're a community, guys. We're a gardening loving community. If any of you know anyone from the Colindale sites, I don't. I'm not a London boy. You can probably tell by the accent. I'm firmly entrenched in the north. But if any of you know anyone from the Colindale sites, may I ask you, please send them some love. Because what an awful thing. Awful for the lady who was murdered. And it's just her family. It's awful for the fellow plot holders. It's just awful. Please send them some love, guys. We're gardeners. We're not about violence and death and destruction. We're quite a loving group of people. You have to be to do what we do. Most of us love what we do. We understand what love is. Please show, if any of you know anyone from the Colindale Allotments, please show them some love. I think we need it at this hard time, while the court case is going on. All those awful memories for that poor old lady are being dragged up again and putting back into the press. Show some love. So not a nice piece of news to start with, but I thought that lady's passing deserved mentioning. She led a life out of respect. I thought it deserved mentioning. We'll move on now. Hopefully something a little bit more light-hearted. So the second part of the garden news is where I normally show photographs that you guys send in, but as I said earlier, it's been that long, I don't have any photographs. So I've took some of my own. Let's have a look. So why are you laughing? What's so funny? Is it not a natural thing for the man to ask his wife, can you take some pictures of him and my poinsettias?
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay. Ooh, let's get it on. Bow, 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 bow. I love poinsettias. I just love them. If you've seen any of my other videos, not every single one, I mean, I'm not obsessed or anything, you know, but I don't mention it all the time, but I have been known to mouth off about my sexy love affair with poinsettia. They're just ace. If they were a lady, I would definitely, I'm going to say this quiet in case my wife is, if there was a lady, I would definitely fancy her. Oh yeah. So that's my photograph. I'll ask a question about it and get some dialogue going. Who else gets a poinsettia or poinsettias for Christmas, but they then try and keep them going as long as they can in our cold, wet, miserable UK climate? This is where all the people that live in California go, hell boy, I got 4 of those in my backyard. And I just realised that probably wasn't a good American accent, but you get the gist, don't you? You know, I know that there are people who watch these videos who are from warmer parts of the world where you can have poinsettias growing outside. Not that I'm jealous or anything, but because you get far superior weather to the weather we get here in the UK. So, who else likes a good old poinsettia for Christmas? And also, who tries to keep them going as long as possible? Now, if you want some tips about keeping them going, I saw a brilliant video from Gardening at 58 North. Go and check him out if you're not already checking him out. Go and have a look. It's a really good video. He's got some cracking tips on one of his clips he's done on how to keep poinsettias going as long as possible. Right, so that's part 2 almost done. I'm just going to end it with a request. Guys, this is where you can send in to me via email. My email address, if you go onto my YouTube homepage, and when you go to the very end where it says about, it'll have a little link for my email. Sometimes it's hidden and it'll say click to show email address. If you send a photograph or a few photographs if you want to that email address, I will include them in my next edition of the Garden News. It can be, all I ask is that they're something gardening related. It doesn't have to be a plant growing in a garden. Just so long as it's garden related. An example I've given before is you might be standing in a queue in a garden centre and the person in front of you in that queue has got their biggest builder's bum crack showing. Whatever you want, I don't care. It doesn't have to be a plant. Just make it garden related. And so long as I don't get absolutely flooded with photographs, I will endeavour to show every single one I get sent in this part of the next edition of the Garden News. So, coming up, the next bit, and I say the next bit because I forget what I normally call it, the review. I'm going to do a bit of a review about something with a little cry for help as well. The review part, right, this, looking at it now, it looks a bit like a little piece of root ginger. It's not root ginger, it's a Jerusalem artichoke, or sunchoke, as I believe some parts of the world call them. A Jerusalem artichoke. Right, we planted some and managed to get them grow for the first time ever last year, because I have actually planted them before, but we didn't. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm always doing stuff wrong, so it could have been anything, to be honest with you. But the previous attempt I had at growing artichokes, nothing happened. They didn't work. So last year at my wife's allotment, we planted some of these, and very recently, they feature in a video I made recently as well. I harvested some of these. Now then, I've got a little bit of a problem with them. Is my tongue broke, or am I not doing something properly? Everything I've ever heard or read about Jerusalem artichokes describes the taste as earthy, aromatic and wintry. Someone today at work described it as a slightly aniseed flavour. Right, I've got to be honest, we roasted them in a tray with some other vegetables and some potatoes as well, and I had some herbs in there, I had a few bay leaves, I had a little bit of goose fat left over from Christmas, and I also put a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. After they'd been roasted, we ate some, and to me, I couldn't taste them. I just couldn't taste them. So, is my mouth broke? Or was I doing it wrong? What do these taste of to you guys when you eat them, if you grow them? And also, how do you cook them as well? Because I'm always open to new suggestions and different ways of trying things. So I've told you how I cooked them. If anyone cooks them any differently, leave a comment. Please let me know. So, right, I put the artichoke down. Make sure the dogs can't get it because we don't want them running around the house pimping. Right then, thank you very much for watching this garden news. And I know it's been a long time. Some of you have been asking, are you still doing them? Yeah, I'm still doing them. It's just, it's hard sometimes, isn't it? You know, coming up with all the stuff that I think people might want to be interested in watching. So, I look forward very much to getting your photographs. If you go on my playlist for the garden news and look at some of the previous episodes, I've had some awesome photographs being sent to me. So I really do look forward to getting some more new photos from you. I can't wait to see what you send me. Anything you want, just so long as it's garden related. And I hope you'll join me the next time I do an episode of the garden news. So, thank you very much. See you later, guys. Take care. Nice one. So if you send me any photographs of anything you want, as long as it's garden related, I'll show them in the next episode. I'll also give you a shout out.